Kushewo. Kushewo.
No, no.
Hey. Kushewo.
Yeah.
Titi Kushewo.
Mahmoode. Rose baby.
Sorry, let me try to go on to my next list. So it's important to know that. And another thing that I would say is important, which is number 11, is to know your limit and have pride. When you have pride and you know your limit, then you know what you are going to be, what you would take from people, what you wouldn't, and how far you will go for people and how far you wouldn't. Because you have to think about yourself. You have to be okay before you can make others okay. You know, you have to be, and you gotta think about that, because if you are not okay, how are you going to make others okay? You need to know your limit. It does not make you a bad person, but if you don't know your limit, people are gonna use you and not even really want to be there for you, but they will pretend. So you gotta have pride and know that nope, that's it. That can be from any angle. It can be from family, from friends, you know, even from your significant other. You need to be able to know that this is how much, because the more you put down your pride, the more people know they are always going to be able to keep poking and get you right where they want you, because you don't have sense of pride. And once you're in that situation, you become a puppet to people. They are going to literally do whatever they want without once thinking about you, because they know you don't have no limit, you don't have no pride. And that is something that I'm glad that I'm still learning, to just know my limit and know when to say no. You know, to know what to say no, it doesn't make me a bad person. I was always more afraid of hurting people, their feelings, than when sometimes those people don't even think about my own. So you have to, it's very important to know that, and because this is your journey, not other people, but they can have a great impact on how your journey goes. Number 12, and I know some people, number 12 I would say is to kind of just know that there isn't only this one soulmate and that's it. If that person is not with me, that's it. I'm never going to find love again. I'm never going to be cherished. Oh my God. No, because when you have that mentality that there's only one soulmate or whatever, and you feel like you're with that person, whoever is that person, that you are forever going to be a doormat. They're forever going to keep using you. They're forever going to they will hurt you and not even think. Why? Because they know you have this belief that you don't care, that's your soulmate, I'm gonna be with him or her regardless of what. He can do whatever he wants, she can do whatever she wants. I'm going to still stick here. I don't care. This is my soulmate. There is no other person. And when that person knows that, darling, that's what they're going to forever throw in your face. They're always going to feel, they are going to put it in your head till you believe it, that you can never find anybody better. And if you don't start changing that mindset and knowing that just because it didn't work out with this person, it doesn't mean I'm not going to ever find somebody again that will cherish me, love me for who I am. No. So I had to learn that the hard way, but nonetheless, it's about learning it. And yeah, that's all that's important really. So yeah. Also, number 13, to have no regrets. I know you'll be like, what? There are some things I regret ever having this person in my life. They hurt me, they this, they that. I wish I could go back and it never happened. I just take what I can take out of life, the lessons I can. I don't live in regret. So I don't live in regret. I always believe what's been is been, whether good, bad, it all contributes to the person that you will become. It contributes to how your life is going to go, your experiences. Because best believe, even if you have or had a negative experience with any situation, you have learned from it. Either for you to, like just as I said previously, like maybe knowing your limit or whatnot, you still gain something out of it. So you have to look at life in that way. Instead of saying I regret this, I regret this, I regret that, take it as, okay, this has happened, this is how it ended, what can I do to make sure that this doesn't happen, to make sure that I don't put myself in a position again to be treated as such or whatnot. That's what the focus should be on. And that's something I learned, that I know I don't regret, even if people be like nope, I don't, because all of that had to happen. It's like a butterfly effect. All of that had to happen for me to be where I am today, so it is very important. It's very important to have that, otherwise you forever go and it will limit your experiences. You will not put yourself out there because you have all this regret. You have to learn to let go and instead learn from it. What can you take, what lesson can you take out of it? And then this is so simple, but it's so important but so difficult to do, is to be able to find happiness within yourself and not place your happiness in other people or other things. Because when you do that, you are forever going to search for happiness. People always say I'm looking for happiness. You can look for something that you have to search for it within yourself. And when you find that happiness within yourself, nothing or no one can take it away. When you put your happiness onto people or things, you are forever going to be disappointed. You are forever, because the only way you can get true happiness is when you find it within yourself. So all that I'm looking for happiness and this, for me, I feel like that's not the best approach, because you need to find it within yourself. You need to find it within yourself. So it's not something that somebody's going to be using against you because you feel like they're the ones that are giving it to you. No, you gotta search within yourself and find happiness in even the tiniest and most little things. You have to find that within yourself, and that's the only way you can keep going strong. So when things do go wrong, you can still rise up, you can still fight and rise up to the top. But if you place that happiness in things, when it goes wrong, you feel like your oxygen has been cut, you feel like you can't breathe, you feel like you can no longer exist. So you have to find it within yourself. And also another thing is to not give up. It's not give up on your goals or your dreams, because sometimes it's easy to say, but it's difficult to do, because we all have, including myself included, you have difficulty in just staying positive and not giving up, because sometimes you feel like there is no progress. I've been doing this for so long, this is not working now, I gotta give up, but sometimes you are this close. When you give up, you were so close to achieving, but you gave up. So instead of giving up, you have to just reevaluate the situation. Okay, this has gone wrong, it didn't work. Maybe there's something I could have changed, the timing, maybe the methods that I use, the approach. You have to find, and then after you reevaluate, then you have to then go back to the drawing board and do a plan again. And then you have to then revitalize, like just recoup, re-energize yourself, and then you restart. So it's not, you have to go according to your own time, but sometimes you're this close, so it's good to practice, just as long as you believe truly in your heart. I know it's it's easy to say, it's easy to say. So of course, number 16 is to accept that life is never going to be fair. People always say, oh, it's not fair. Yeah, it's not. That's just how it is. Let's talk about fair. From the day we are born, nothing is fair. There are some So there's some parents that go through hours of labor. There are kids that just come like that. So from day one, it's never fair. There are kids that are born that they go straight home, they're healthy, everything. There are kids, babies that are born that have to stay a bit longer in the hospital. So it's never been fair and will never be. But if you're constantly looking at, oh, it's not fair, this person has never even worked this, they just came all of a sudden, they're now rich, they're famous, they're this, I've been grinding and nothing. Yeah, everybody we all have different experiences of getting to where we're getting. You know, it's just like if you're going somewhere, there are different ways of getting there. You can go maybe by car, by bus, by train, by plane. However you choose to get there, as long as you get there, that's what's important. So it's never going to be fair. There are people that they are filthy rich. There's others that barely, and they work hard, but they barely even can survive. That's how it is, and that's how it's always going to be. So instead of always crying, life's not fair, life's not fair, just focus on what, like, look within your own self, what is possible for you, instead of looking at others, because you truly don't know. You can know what they tell you, what you see, but not truly what even they're going through. We have this thing, especially I think with social media, that we see something or we hear something straight away, that's it, we believe it. We don't ever go and do our own research. Because somebody else has said it, it must be true. No, even if your pastor tells you something, doesn't mean because it came from the pastor is true. You have to learn to do your own research. Learn for yourself. Try to get to know things. Like, for example, when we were going through all this whole Brexit stuff and we voted whether to remain with the European Union or leave, a lot of people, later on when they did polls, a lot of people said if they had really fully understood, they would not have voted the way they initially voted. But it's too late now, because why? When some of the leaders and the ones that are pushing them, when they were coming, whatever it is they were saying is what people were going for. Nobody was going and doing their research. And now once everybody's voted, and now they're saying, well, we promised this, but we're not actually going to be able to this. And now some people are upset. Why are you upset? You should do your own research in the first place. Or pastor said this. Did you ever go and do your research? Doesn't mean you don't believe people. It just means you need to know things for your own personal self. Learn. And then look at things. Balance it out. Then is to learn to be able to be alone. We are in a world sometimes where, for us in our head, the worst thing is for us to be alone. We feel like we can't function. If you don't learn while you're young, especially in your 20s or so, to be able to be by yourself and think and plan and whatnot, do your own thing, you're forever going to rely on other people for everything. And if they're not there, you're not happy, you're not motivated. You need to learn to be in your own company, because it gives you time to think. It gives you time to kind of just evaluate everything and then think of plans and steps forward. But if you're not giving yourself time to even be alone, and when I say alone, it's not being alone and then you're on your social media 24/7. That's not being alone. Just because you're by yourself does not mean you are alone. Sometimes you need to be able to put that to the corner. Just think. Do you focus on your own things. It's so easy to be distracted, so we're constantly you never spend time getting to know yourself. And sometimes when you do that, you see, even when it comes to relationships, some people, they jump from this straight to another without taking time to be alone, think things through, try and see what they did or what they could have done better, so they make sure they prepared better for the next one, because they never give them time to be that. So for me, I think that's a valuable lesson that I learned. And sometimes I even prefer to just be in my own company and just think of my own things, you know, and I'll deal with everything else later on. When my kids go to bed and my husband's at work, I use that time to just focus, you know, take my notebook, even if there's something like TV or music in the background, let it not be something that can take your attention, then you just focus on yourself. on yourself and make your plans. Okay, this is what I need to do for you need to do that. It's very important. Then number 19, we're almost at the end. Number 19 is life is not always going to go as you plan. Let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you something, darling. When I was a teenager, looking the way I was thinking about like being 20 something, 20, you know, the age I'm now, just recently turned 29, I was thinking, yeah, by this age I'm gonna be driving my dream car, my Range. I'm going to have mortgage. I'm going to this. You always have all these plans in your head and how things are going to go, but it doesn't always go as the way you've planned. But it doesn't mean you still cannot get to where you want to get. You just maybe you've kind of taken a different route. You're still going to get there. When people are running a marathon, however it is they choose to go, as long as you finish the race, that's what matters, you know. So it's just good to just know that, to have that in mind, that life is not always going to go according to how we plan and all the steps that we think. Yes, have those plans, but also it's good to have a backup, a contingency plan, because things always go accordingly. But then what's your next step? How, okay, this hasn't worked out, what's plan B? You have to not only plan B, even you have to have plan A to Z, A, B, C to Z, because something might always happen and it's not going to go according to how we plan. But just believe that whatever it is, as long as you are still focused on what you are trying to achieve, what you're trying to do, how you want your life to be in terms of happiness, that just that be your focus, and know that there's always room for things to kind of go up. There's some people that, you know, they will have a child before they go on to they may have a child first and then go, you know, uni, or maybe have a child then get married. That's their own way. It doesn't mean, oh, because you did it this way is better. No, we all have our path. We all have our own ways that things are going to go. Yes, they may have wanted it this way, but it didn't happen that way. It doesn't mean it's the wrong way. No, it doesn't. So you always have to know that, and just know it's not going to go according to how we plan it in our head or according to how society wants it to be. And then last but not the least is to learn self-discipline. Self-discipline doesn't mean like, oh, like the way you discipline a child, don't curse, don't this, don't that. Not necessarily. Self-discipline is you just having certain things, putting them in place. It helps you a lot in terms of focus. And self-discipline can come in the smallest forms. For example, if you have it with you that within you, when I wake up in the morning, I want to pray, make my bed, whatever it is. It can be something as little as that, but because you keep sticking to it, you have that discipline. Eventually, when other things come about, you're able to be self-disciplined as well. If you know, you're somebody that's always distracted when it comes to like phone, social media, put some time that, okay, every time of the week for this time for 2 hours or whatever in this day, I want to put the phone down and do this and do this, or I just even want to put it down and just think. You have to have that self-discipline, because our parents are not always going to be there, or other people to tell us, no, do this, don't do that. Especially when you're an adult, do this, don't do that. You're on your own most of the time. So you have to be self-disciplined. You have to know when to cut yourself up. You have to know when, okay, enough is enough. You need to have self-discipline. It's very, very important too. No, it is, because when you're able to have that, then you're able to always have focus on your things and be able to survive and get along with people or whatnot. So I think it's very important. So that is just 20. Sorry, I'm sure this video is going to be a bit long, but hopefully I'm going to do it into part 1 and part 2. So the first 10 part 1, and then the first 2 another part, because I don't want it to be too long. But those are my own like personal 20 lessons that my 20s has taught me, 20 lessons I've learned, you know, in my 20s. And some of them the positive, I would definitely want to go along with them in my 30s and continue to learn. And some of those ones, you know, I myself, I'm a work in progress. So I'm saying this, but it doesn't mean all of them like bang on practice them for sure. No, we all lose focus sometimes and whatever it may be, but it's always good to reflect. And since this is my final year of being in my 20s, I just wanted to just, you know, just think about some of this things that I've had to deal with, what I've learned, and hopefully this helps you as well in any way. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. I have so much coming. I cannot wait, you know, bring on 2019, because I've got a lot of things, although it doesn't mean everything's gonna go according to plan as one of my lessons, but definitely I've got some goals. And I'm also, as I said, I'm gonna do a video on doing like a vision board and planning and all of that, especially going on to the new year, just putting down things in place that will help you in terms of your goals, your plan, whether it be within your personal life or your professional life. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and also click on the notification bell, so every time I post a video, you'll be notified and watch it. And also like, comment. I want to hear your own, like what would you say you have learned. You don't have to be in your 20s, you can even be beyond or even below, but what can you identify with, or do you have any additional things? I'm always open to learn as well, so please feel free to comment. Other people will learn, I myself will also learn through that, and also get to know you all better. And please share as well with, you know, people around you, somebody that maybe just needs, you know, a bit of encouragement, a bit of motivation. And also please, I provide quite a lot of different services. I do motivational speaking for any sort of occasion, any sort of crowd, anything, any sort of program, you know. So if you would like for me to do a talk at any event or so, please email me, let me know. Just send me an email and let me know and see what I can do. And also share, as I said earlier, share with other people and get involved. And I look forward to growing with you all, and I look forward to seeing us have, you know, positive growth within our personal and professional life, because I believe this is a journey that we are all going through. If you're watching this, and I want to be able to look back a couple of years and be like, oh my god, we've all actually come a long way. And there will be difficult situations along the way, but as long as we just keep focused and just remain positive, faithful, and keep going, and also keep praying that God will help, will just direct us down the right path and let his will be done within our life. And once again, happy new year to you, and I pray this will be a very, very, very productive, prosperous, successful, you know, year filled with joy and everything that your heart desires, that you hope and pray for. Thank you for watching, and see you again very soon. Thank you, and have a nice day, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. Stay blessed, and remember that together we can all grow, we can all have growth. We just have to take it one step at a time, but with the right strategies and methods and everything, we'll be able to continue to have growth within our personal and also our professional lives. Thank you for watching. Bye.